A really big welcome to the Salon Chat Room podcast with Angeline Hayden, founder of Midas Customer Service Training and Salon Solutions, and Kerry Humphreys, founder of Locate Your Look. Please help us welcome our guests for today. We are sure you'll be suitably entertained and learn something new and inspiring about our amazing industry. The Salon Chat Room podcast welcomes today Sophie B. Now, Sophie B is an industry leader and digital influencer in the hair and beauty sector. She focuses on reigniting the fire within the everyday stylist whilst pumping sass and passion into the future hairy generation. Sassyist CEO on the planet and founder of Colour Me Sophie B.
Hi again, welcome back to the Salon Chat Room podcast. Me and Angeline today are here today with Sophie Bullivant. Sophie is the proud salon owner of Colour Me Sophie B. Great name, Sophie. Welcome to the Salon Chat Room podcast.
Hello.
Hi, Sophie. Welcome. Yeah, very catchy name. I love that.
Memorable.
Yes, Sophie, tell us a little bit more about why you chose the name, why you went into owning a salon. Tell us a little bit more about you.
Well, I've been a hairdresser for like 26 years. Okay, started when I was really young. I was 14 when I went.
You must have been really young.
and so because I was so into it, by the time I left school, I was already qualified. So I was 16, straight onto the salon floor as a colourist. Not a very good one, but I did do it. And then kind of like continued to train and stuff like that throughout the years. Had the pleasure of working with some like really awesome people and influential people to me, and that kind of mentored me and took me under their wings, beat me up if I was being bad, and that. And then by the time I had kind of got to the stage where I'd also got married, had a couple of kids, I really just felt like I'd just lost myself in every sense of the, words, really. And anybody who has children will understand that, when my kids were like 2.5 and like a baby. And I just really struggled. I really struggled with work, what to wear. I'd put on loads of weight. I just felt awful, and just didn't feel really good in the industry or anything like that. And so I decided, as well as losing some weight and stuff like that, I decided that I was going to do my Weller master's degree at the academy, which is like the highest exams you can do in our field. So I basically went off, did that, smashed that, got near enough 100% in that, and got the highest mark for the year.
Oh, well done.
And across the UK, I was like, smashed it. And then literally I decided there and then that I was going to like full on reinvent myself like Madonna. Okay. So I need the showbiz name.
Good for
okay,
you.
I don't want to be Soph anymore. I want to be fancy, So obviously the Colour Me Sophie B thing started then when I was working for somebody else. So it was almost like a mini brand within their salon, if you like. So I started doing loads of social media and things like that, and whooped up like a massive following. And that obviously then later on in my life saw me 3 years ago opening my first salon.
Well done.
Yeah.
We were talking about brand awareness actually, Sophie, and what you've done is actually you have designed your working life around your brand. And if a brand is powerful and your work is excellent, which it clearly is, the brand will take you to places that you want to be. So well done on that.
I think like the whole branding and ethos behind like who we are and what we are, we're a bit like Marmite. Like you either really dig us and think we're hilarious, or you don't. There's no kind of grey area with that. And I think, like, my daddy, he said something to me really important, like when I was doing all this and when I was reinventing myself like Madonna. He was literally like, you know, so if you've got to find your own tribe, you know, like, and the people who love you are going to be in love with you and love what you do, and then the others aren't, and that's okay.
Yeah,
that is. Don't ever apologize. Yeah, and we also, this is really un-PC, right? But we are like a girls' salon. Okay, we don't cut men's hair, we don't do children, we don't do any of those things. It is literally like, how can I explain it to you? It's like loose women. It's like that.
Girl
so
power.
you've concentrated on what you are so good at as well. Yeah, that's a great concept.
So that's what we do, really. And, you know, we're really pumped, we're really energized, we're really positive. We laugh all day long, all the team, you know, get on, like all the clients sort of get to know each other, the whole salon's all talking at once to each other. It's almost very Italian sort of thing.
That's one of the great things about the industry, isn't it? That's one of the great things about the industry. It's just that real sense of you've got another family, isn't it? That everybody that comes in, you want to catch up, see what they've been doing, how they are, and that's what I love about the industry. It's just that real sense of get together, sort of. You've always got somebody you can chat to. There's always somebody that you can connect with.
Yeah.
I think you are far more than a stylist when you are a hairdresser. You are a confidant, you are a counselor, you know, and you share stories with people, don't you? And you begin to develop relationships and build this trust. And that can only be done if you are like you are in the salon. So great.
I think, well, it's about, like, you know, that kind of like old school feeling of like old fashioned, like family values and respect and courtesy, okay, whilst being able to have fun at the same time. So it's like delivering exceptional service, okay, and an exceptional quality, okay, but without it having to be snotty at the same time, you know. A bit going to a gastro pub where you know the food's going to be awesome, you know it's going to be clean, you know the setting's going to be awesome, but it hasn't got the same snottiness as going to like a Michelin star restaurant. So the quality isn't relaxed and your experience isn't relaxed, like in the sense of that you're not getting good service and stuff, but it's more of a relaxing, you know, place
the whole team are behind you, so you decide on how, you know, how the level in the salon is going to be, and if the whole team are behind you, then it is like a big family, isn't it, where everybody gets on. The clients are happy to come to you, you're happy in your work, and as they say, if you're happy in your work, you don't do a day's work, do you?
Exactly, you know. And I think, you know, sometimes things get a bit difficult, and with COVID and stuff like that, that's been a bit difficult, but because of our salon culture, which spills out onto the clients, okay, because the clients are a massive part of our culture, and the clients are very much like us and we're like them, and we're really united. And so when all that was happening, the amount of clients who were phoning us pledging money, literally saying, I will pay for my whole next year's appointments up front if it stops you going under. You know,
nice.
And things like that. We didn't take up on it, we didn't need to, but that's not the point, you know. So that culture running that deep, you know, and the support we get, and also the amount of new clients that we got from the first lockdown, because they've been following our journey for 4 months. You know, we're on 24/7, and I was ugly crying, you know. I don't cry pretty.
Sophie, we were talking about the power of social media during lockdown, and it really allowed people to be able to connect with a bigger audience, which perhaps wasn't their own audience, but it was their audience's audience. So it really did, it was so powerful, wasn't it, with Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and all of that. So That's I think that's happened amongst so many salons, and they have grown their businesses. So do you do anything online, or is it just putting your work out there to clients, former clients, and also getting new clients as well?
I mean, we just try and make it a bit like a TV show, really. It is, and we are like a hairy family. Normally, when we're trading, it just runs, and it's very much like who you are, what you do. You know, I'm Sophie B. I'm the salon boss lady. I colour hair. This is how I colour hair. This is how much it is. You know, and this is what Hannah thinks about it, right? And then it'll be Hannah being like, I specialise in extensions. I'm hairy Hannah. Right, if you want extensions, I'm your girl. This is how we run. This is how much it is. Do you want to come and party with us? It's very much like that on our stories. On our grids, is a little bit different. Like Facebook, I do a lot of blogging on there, so it would be like problem, you know, solution. Yeah. So
you get the interaction with people as well.
Yeah, Barbara's got no hair. Barbara wants hair. Barbara's showing us inspiration picture, and this is what she got and how much it was. Yeah.
Problem solving.
Whereas on Instagram, we don't do a lot of copy on Instagram grids. Just a little bit, you know. But yeah, that's all we do on there. And then obviously my online classes, my teaching classes are online.
Right.
So, you know, that's all online as well. And obviously I've got separate pages for that. That's Colour Me Sophie B Pro. Yeah, so that's when we teach other hairdressers how to be awesome like us. And then we just literally launched our third company, which is called Product Junkie, which is our own brand of hair and beauty products.
Amazing. Wow, you have been busy.
Yeah.
So Sophie, how many staff have you got?
So there's 5 in total, including me.
So do they all do different things, or do they do... Because you do
we have 2
colour, or
we have two that's training with us. Okay, so they will qualify this year, and then we have Hannah and Chloe who do everything. So they cut and colour, hair extensions, everything. I'm the only person that just does colour.
So how do you go about choosing your staff? How do you go about choosing your staff that fit your brand?
I got my own. I don't pick them. I made massive mistakes in the first 12 months doing that. Yeah. And then obviously, you know, I had to deal with those situations. And then from that point on, I just decided to home grow. Okay. So that I could make sure the culture and the way that we work and everything else was implanted in them from the get-go. Okay.
Are you talking about apprenticeships?
Yeah.
Yes. So Hannah, for example, she was our first homegrown. Okay, from when we opened, been open 3 years in February. Okay, and she was our first one, and she's like a fully booked stylist. She's so busy. Okay, because her training, her etiquette, the way she is, you know, it's there. And Chloe, she's just qualified with us, and again, you know, she's building up her books. You know, and then my last 2 are on their last sort of 7 months of training.
So we were talking about the importance of apprentices, Sophie. We were saying that there has been a big drop in apprentices coming through the system over the last sort of maybe, what would you say, Kerry, 2 to 3 years just? Yeah. About a 13% drop. So we absolutely love to hear that salons are taking apprentices on. They're nurturing them. They're training them. And it's good for you because you can train them in the way that you want them to be able to do color or cuts or blow dries, or, you know, and watch them very closely, and they become more of an integrated part of your team. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think definitely, and everyone's different. You know, I'm not massive on leadership. I'm actually I run the hairdressing sector for the Leadership Council for UK and Ireland. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you know what that is, but basically it's David Blunkett fronts it. So it's part of Parliament. So it's basically made up of the most notable industry leaders in the UK. And so my work with them in the hairdressing sector, you know, is very much with like younger generation, where I really want to show the younger generation that they don't have to scrub floors and they don't have to scrub the toilet, don't have to do all these things, okay? Because really, as salon owners, if you are focusing, you know, on nurturing them and letting them do things they can do as they learn them, rather than waiting for the big grand finale at the end on year 3, all right? If you're actually, everything that they're good at, you're letting them do it as they go along, you know, it just breeds such a better crop of hairdresser. You know, they're so much further forward on when they qualify, and if you find that they don't leave you and drop out the industry, you know, this is the, like, if you're trying to keep somebody as a glorified cleaner under the thumb for 3 years and treating them badly, why would they stay?
That's what we were saying.
Better opportunities.
Before. I trained for 3 years to become a hairdresser, and the first 2 years were exactly that. I thought to myself, I could earn more money in a cafe. But then I started seeing more development and things. So I think 3 years is far too long to do an apprenticeship. I think a couple of years possibly, but I totally agree with you, Sophie. If you're in the thick of what you actually generally want to do and doing more of that, then more people will stay. Because that's why they're in the industry.
If your assistant does a banging bouncy blow dry, for example, okay, so why would you want the one who can do banging bouncy blow dries not doing banging bouncy blow dries and sweeping the floor instead? Okay, so it's just utilising to make more money as well.
Well, you're doing lots of things actually, Sophie, aren't you? What you're doing is you're leaning towards their positive skills, and you're also making them feel involved. You're making more money for the salon, which is important, obviously, but you're giving them a sense of purpose and ownership as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
So they then feel, wow, I really am starting to become part of this salon. I have my own clients, and there's a sense of pride in that. So that's good leadership. That really is, you know, that shows really good leadership. So
I really, you know, I think when I open a salon, like, it's just really important for me to learn how to be a good leader.
Yeah.
Right? That's a skill in itself.
It is.
And I think that, like, I just worked really hard with my business coaches, all the support from the leadership council, of how I could bring out the best in people.
We were also talking about mentorship, because Kerry's Locate Your Look is running a mentorship program. And it sounds like you have had your own mentors, Sophie, where you've literally gone out there and found people that you can learn from. Would you say that is great advice for somebody who has just maybe taken on a salon? They've got a small team. They want to grow themselves. They want to grow their team. Is that a good way to go?
I think so, definitely. I mean, like, I still have mentors now, you know, and they're great because, you know, they give you a shake when you need to shake things up a bit, you know, slapping the you know, but they also know how to, you know, get you to perform the best, no matter what that is that you're doing, whether it's hairdressing, coaching, you know, standing up on stage or whatever I'm doing. They just get the best out of me. Especially like self-doubt creeps in and stuff, because we're all our own worst enemies, aren't we? You know, I'm sure even Beyonce is like, oh my God, I'm rubbish. I can't go.
We all have our doubt days, don't we? Of course we do.
I do think, like, if we can get to them younger, you know, then that's a good thing.
But this industry just evolves all the time as well, doesn't it? And you do have sort of days that are not as good as others and stuff like that. For somebody to just give you a tap on the shoulder and say you're doing a great job means so much to some people, doesn't it? So especially when you run your own team, it's like, you might not be having a great day today, but actually tomorrow's another day. You're doing a great job. I do really, really think a mentor, everybody should have a mentor. Somebody to just just reassure you that actually you're doing a marvellous job.
And also you can learn from their mistakes, can't you? Without having to make those mistakes.
And that's always great.
Yeah, it's always good, isn't it? Yeah, I think also because we were talking, my company is Midas, Sophie, and what we do, I was a salon owner turned teacher. So I decided to go into the customer service side of the salon, teaching 16 to 25-year-olds the value of building trust, making eye contact, being comfortable with body language and all of those skills. Yeah, how do you feel about that? You know, that is not a big part of hairdressing actually, but what we're trying to do is we're trying to make it just a little bit more normal for that to be a taught subject, if you like.
I think like the biggest part, I'm not going to mince my words when I say this, by the way, so you might want to believe that.
Please don't.
But, so it's more like I've seen loads of like rubbish, like hairdressers, okay, be fully booked for like 5 years in advance, and I've seen loads of really good hairdressers struggle to build a clientele, okay.
Yeah.
And you've got to ask yourself, well, what's the difference? Okay. And it will always be the same thing. It's not about hair. Okay. So the one that's fully booked, okay, is the one that's really, really good at relationships, and the one friendly, makes people feel good, you know, and they just have that within them. It like oozes out of them. It's so charismatic, and even if they're quiet, they don't have to be gobby with it, but even those ones that are quiet and deadly, right, because they're the ones where you know, clients might like to not chat too much, but you know, they're really confident and quietly confident, you know, having to be that chihuahua.
It's all about reading your customers as well, isn't it? Reading which ones want to chat and the ones that just want to sit there quiet having a magazine. And I think that's part and parcel of customer service, isn't it?
Yeah, the ones who are rammed, okay, they know who their people are, okay, so they know who their target is, who their people are, and they're just very, very, very good at being, you know, confident, you know.
And making the client feel not just amazing because they've had an incredible hairdo or a color or a cut, but just amazing because they have built trust with that client, they have exuded confidence, and it just makes a better relationship, doesn't it? Yeah.
Totally agree. I think most successful people out there would actually say the exact same thing. I think they would, again, I think down to my success, owning 2 salons and selling them both, was down to that. I wasn't better than anybody else, but my customer service was second to none. And I know that for a fact. I just think from the minute they walked in to the minute they went out, they had my full attention. And I taught every single person that worked for me the same thing, how important it was. And everybody that's worked for me has went on and worked for themselves, which to me is a review in itself, to see that everybody that's worked on my ship has gone on and did their own. So I totally agree with you, Sophie. I think that it's not always your talent. Yes, that's got something to do with it, but if you've got a talent with no personality, you're not going to get too far, are you?
So, Sophie, if you had any advice for our listeners, you know, like we were saying, somebody perhaps who'd just taken over a salon and maybe, you know, sort of bought a salon and is now developing the salon. I mean, who would in COVID, but you never know. There are those out there.
People that have started
members
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes it's just the right opportunity for some people and the wrong one for others. What sort of advice would you give, particularly about mentorship and leadership? How would you tell somebody how to be a great leader? You may not say that you're a great leader yourself, but actually you are, because your ripple effect affects everybody in the salon. So maybe some advice there.
I feel that the best piece of advice I was ever given, okay, before I opened my shop, was basically it's all about them, not about you. Okay, so
good
what
advice.
that meant was, okay, so before, when I was a stylist behind the chair, it was all about me. Okay, how amazing I am, how amazing I am on social media. Look at what I've created. Me. And then when it was the salon, even though it was my name above the door, okay, it was about them. Okay, what do my team need? What's going to make my team happy? What's going to make my team's day better? Okay, easier. How can I make my team more efficient? Okay, and it's almost like they're the boss of me. I'm not the boss of them. Okay, so my job as a leader and as a salon owner, okay, is to make sure they have everything they need.
Keep a happy ship.
Yeah, massively.
Yeah.
And it's not about being lying down doormat, okay? Because if you are leading properly, okay, there should never be any grey areas for people to do anything wrong, okay? Because everyone knows what that level of expected is, okay? And as long as everybody meets the level of expected, then there's no problems.
It's like that sort of quote from Richard Branson, isn't it? Look after your staff and the staff will look after your customers.
Yeah,
so,
massively. I truly believe that.
Yeah.
You know, my coaches at the time had said, I don't think you're going to, I'm really worried you're going to really struggle with this. Like, this is like, you know, this is something that, like, I don't know which way this is going to go. And, you know, like, I proved them wrong and worked really, really hard on myself and, you know, just made sure that I was always like a positive role model and, you know, trying to steer the ship, you know, in the best way possible. And to be honest, through COVID, I've more than proved, you know, what kind of leader I am, because, you know, while a lot of the salon owners were sitting there counting their pennies, like laying off staff and doing whatever they're doing, I set up another 2 businesses, okay, which didn't rely on a footfall to ensure that I could take care of my staff. You know,
it's about reinventing yourself, Sophie, isn't it? Because if that's not working, then you have to look outside and find something that is going to work. So that alone is great advice.
Yeah.
That is very inspirational, actually, for people that are struggling at the minute. That to hear things like that, it's a real sort of inspiration, because if you really put your mind to something, you can do it. Again,
and
if you're looking for advice and you need a mentor, you need that sort of kind of, just contact anybody. As I say, contact Locate Your Look. All mentoring is free with us, so we can send you to the right person that you need or whatever. So there is plenty of help out there. So there's no need to struggle in any way.
Times have changed so rapidly. I think we've seen more change in the last 6 months than we actually have done in the industry for the last 5 years. You know, we are now talking to people, Kerry and I are talking to people about mentorship. We're talking to people about online training. We're talking to people all the time. And there are so many different subjects out there now, which is absolutely incredible, because the strong are going to survive. There's no doubt about that. And I think you have to put yourself out there. You have to be brave. Take that leap of faith if you're thinking about doing something. But on the other hand, reach out to other people, because that's what people are there for, especially the ones in the industry, because it is like an enormous family where everybody looks after each other. So, you know, we would urge people, as you were saying, Sophie, go that extra mile for your clients. If you've got a happy team, you've got happy clients, and you've certainly got a happy owner.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I'm back.
A little blip in the system, but we could still hear you. So that was fantastic. So any other projects, upcoming projects you're doing, Sophie, that you want to share with our audience?
So obviously I've got loads of education for next year. A lot of salon owners have been sending their staff to me for a bit of a boot camp. You know, I'm like Mrs. Motivator, you know.
And how can they reach you?
You know, so a lot of people really like to kind of like send their staff to me to kind of like, you know, really focus on them and lift their spirits and get them super excited and all the rest of it. And so I've been doing that, got loads more of that like next year. And then on top of that as well, obviously we'll launch Product Junkie. We're going to get that going online.
That sounds amazing. So these are your products that you are getting out to your clients and anybody else that is interested in them as well. We're definitely going to have a look at that, aren't we, Kerry?
Definitely.
Yeah.
When do you launch the product range, Product Junkie?
So it literally just got a delivery. So it's going to be launched when we go back to the salon on Thursday. And then online it will be the beginning of next year. So we're super excited. Like you won't need
exciting, boy. Very, very inspirational. Well, Sophie, it was great to speak to you today. I must say you are very, very inspirational, easy to talk to. You're a great
wonderful
leader.
To meet you, Sophie.
So thank you very much for taking the time to speak to us today. And I look forward to getting you back on to talk about your new launch products.
Awesome.
So thanks again and see you again soon.
Thank you, Sophie. Lovely to meet you. A big thank you to our guests today for giving up their time to share their own salon industry journeys. Don't forget to sign up to our channels so you don't miss out on the amazing guests we have lined up just for you. Big love from Kerry Humphreys, founder of Locate Your Look, and Angeline Hayden, founder of Midas Customer Service Training and Salon Solutions. See you next time on the Salon Chat Room podcast.